Welcome once again. I'm Baron Aragni,
And I'm Baronessa Aragni.
and in this episode we are going to discuss one of the most fundamental and yet frequently neglected parts of serious magical practice, the consecration of ritual objects.
We will examine what consecration truly means, why an object cannot always be considered magically active simply because it was placed upon an altar, and how consecration changes the relationship between the practitioner, the material object, and the spiritual forces with which they work.
We will also look at historical occult examples of consecration, including practices found within ancient Egyptian religion, the Graeco-Egyptian Magical Papyri, the Solomonic grimoires, the writing of Agrippa, and later ceremonial traditions.
And at the end of the episode, we will give a simple but effective universal method of consecration, one that can be adapted to almost any ritual tool, talisman, vessel, charm, or object intended for magical use.
There is a profound difference between an object that has been placed upon an altar and an object that has been made to belong there.
A knife purchased from a shop remains a knife. A cup remains a cup. A length of cord remains cord. A ring remains metal. A statue remains carved matter. And a book remains little more than ink imprisoned between covers.
These things may be beautiful. They may be expensive, rare, antique, or fashioned according to the most precise occult correspondences.
Yet, until they have been properly cleansed, dedicated, awakened, and bound to their intended office, they remain fundamentally mundane.
They are objects awaiting instruction.
Consecration is the process by which such an object is removed from ordinary existence and admitted into the world of the art.
It is the crossing of a boundary.
Through consecration, the practitioner declares that the object no longer belongs solely to the market, the workshop, the earth from which its materials were taken, or the countless hands through which it may have passed.
It is claimed.
It is named.
It is assigned a purpose.
It is brought beneath authority.
In more advanced operations, it is given a spiritual pattern, fed with particular force, joined to an intelligence, or made into an habitation through which something greater than the object itself may act.
Consecration is therefore not merely the act of blessing an object.
It is the establishment of identity.
It is the moment at which matter is told what it is to become.
Modern practitioners are frequently encouraged to believe that intent alone is sufficient.
According to this convenient doctrine, any object may be taken up at any moment, mentally assigned to a purpose, and immediately expected to perform as a fully established instrument of the art.
Certainly, will and intent are essential. Without will, ritual becomes pantomime. Without intent, ceremony becomes an empty sequence of movements.
Yet intent alone is not always enough. Just as the intent to build a house does not produce walls, foundation, doors, or a roof.
The claim that nothing more is required often conceals impatience, inexperience, or unwillingness to perform the work necessary to establish a true magical relationship with an object.
A practitioner would not ordinarily invite a stranger into the temple and entrust that stranger with the most delicate operations without introduction, purification, instruction, or oath.
Yet many will take an unknown object, stained with unknown influences, and possessing no established relationship to them, and immediately place it at the center of an important rite.
This is careless.
Every object has a history.
Its material was taken from somewhere. It was shaped under particular conditions. It was handled by particular people.
It may have been stored in places marked by conflict, commerce, sickness, exhaustion, greed, grief, or simple human disorder.
An antique object may have passed through several households and absorbed decades of emotional association.
Even a newly manufactured object carries the character of its material, its construction, its makers, and the environment in which it was produced.
Not every influence attached to an object is malicious. Most are merely irrelevant.
Yet irrelevance itself may be a form of interference.
A ritual instrument should not be a crowded room in which every former impression continues to speak.
Consecration empties the room.
Then it decides who may enter.
The first mystery of consecration is separation.
The object must be taken out of the ordinary stream of use. It ceases to be one thing among many and becomes a particular thing set apart.
This principle is not only found in occult traditions, but throughout religious history.
Sacred vessels, priestly garments, altars, statues, relic containers, incense burners, bells, oils, weapons, and books have repeatedly been subjected to rites that distinguish them from their mundane equivalents.
The object may be washed, fumigated, sprinkled, anointed, wrapped, buried, exposed to flame, passed through incense, placed beneath celestial light, or left upon an altar for a prescribed period.
Prayers may be spoken over it, divine names may be written upon it, spirits may be called to witness its dedication.
Its former identity may be stripped away through exorcism before new identity is impressed upon it.
This separation is not theatrical excess. It establishes a boundary around the object.
A consecrated blade should not thereafter be used to open parcels or cut food.
A ritual cup should not be taken into casual use during supper.
A mirror prepared for scrying should not be passed around as a curiosity.
A vessel established as the seat of a spirit should not be treated as interior decoration.
The more clearly the object is separated from mundane use, the more stable its ritual identity becomes.
Through repeated recognition, it develops continuity.
When the practitioner reaches for the blade, the mind does not encounter a household utensil being temporarily employed in ritual.
It encounters the blade of the art.
Its appearance, handling, location, and accumulated history all directs consciousness towards the operation for which it was established.
In this manner, consecration works upon the object, the practitioner, and the relationship between them.
Before an object may receive a defined current, it is often necessary to remove what does not belong.
Purification does not imply that physical matter is inherently impure or sinful.
Rather, it acknowledges that matter is impressionable.
An object may accumulate associations, habits, memories, emotional residues, and subtle adhesions through contact and use.
Purification returns the object to a state of ritual availability.
Water may wash away the remnants of previous contact.
Salt may establish sterility, stability, and separation.
Smoke may penetrate where the hand cannot reach.
Fire may burn away, transform, and test.
Sound may disturb stagnant patterns.
Prayer may impose order through sacred speech.
Exorcism may directly command all foreign, obstructive, or contrary influences to depart.
The key of Solomon, one of the most influential families of Western ceremonial magical texts, repeatedly requires materials and instruments to be purified, exorcised, perfumed, sprinkled, and consecrated before their employment.
Even incense is not treated as automatically sacred simply because it is incense. It is subjected to an exorcism so that it may be sanctified and made fit for ritual use.
The same texts insist upon new or virgin paper and parchment that have not previously served another purpose.
These materials are then specifically prepared and consecrated before being used for pentacles, characters, or any other operations.
The reason is severe but clear. An operation should be built from materials that answer to the operation itself, rather than from matter already tangled in unrelated service.
The practitioner is not merely cleaning dirt from an object.
The practitioner is clearing away contradiction.
Once purified, the object must be told what it is.
This may be accomplished through a formal declaration, an oath, a prayer, an incantation, or the inscription of names and characters.
The practitioner states the office of the object and the authority beneath which that office is established.
A blade may be appointed to divide, banish, sever, command, or trace boundaries.
A cup may be appointed to receive, contain, nourish, reflect, or unite.
A ring may be appointed as a bond between practitioner and the spirit.
A staff may be appointed as an emblem of authority and a conductor of force.
A mirror may be appointed as a threshold of vision.
A book may be appointed as a singular record and body of a practitioner's art.
A talisman may be appointed to draw, preserve, repel, bind, reveal, inflame, conceal, protect, or destroy.
The object must not be assigned a vague spiritual importance. It must be given a defined office.
A soldier receives no command, may possess strength but has no direction.
A servant who is told only to do something useful has not been properly instructed.
Likewise, an object loaded with force but denied a precise purpose may become inconsistent, diffuse, or symbolically confused.
Naming gives shape to power.
Appointment gives power a task.
When the object is addressed directly, when it is told, "You are this, you shall perform this, you shall answer to this authority, and you shall not depart from this office," the practitioner begins to establish it as a distinct presence within the ritual world.
This need not imply that every consecrated object becomes literally conscious.
Some do not.
Some function as reservoirs.
Some function as symbolic engines.
Some serve as extensions of the practitioner's subtle anatomy.
Some become linked to particular spirits.
Some gradually develop a form of responsiveness through long use, feeding, repetition, and accumulated contact.
But every properly consecrated object acquires a ritual identity.
Without identity, force has nowhere stable to gather.
The Renaissance occultist Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa described consecration as a process through which a spiritual principle is drawn into matter by suitability, correspondence, prayer, and the virtue of the consecrator.
In his treatment, a properly prepared work is vivified, made spiritually alive, rather than merely decorated with sacred language.
This is one of the great keys to understanding consecration.
The object is not merely labeled.
It is vivified.
To vivify an object is to cause it to participate in force beyond its raw material.
Iron becomes more than iron.
Wax becomes more than wax.
Wood becomes more than wood.
Through correspondence, timing, invocation, inscription, suffumigation, sacrifice, prayer, and will, the material is arranged into sympathy with a particular spiritual current.
The object becomes capable of carrying that current because it has been made similar to it.
A solar talisman may be made of solar metal, inscribed beneath a solar election, perfumed with solar incense, marked with solar names, clothed in solar colors, and exposed to solar invocation or evocation.
Each component repeats the same command in a different language.
The metal speaks it.
The hour speaks it.
The incense speaks it.
The color speaks it.
The names speaks it.
The prayer speaks it.
The practitioner speaks it.
And eventually, contradiction is reduced and resonance is intensified.
The object stands at the meeting point of many correspondences, each drawing towards the same center.
This is how an object becomes a throne for a force.
Not because one has pretended that it is powerful, but because one has systematically made it hospitable to power.
A properly consecrated object may accumulate power through repeated use.
Every ritual performed with it reinforces its identity.
Every invocation spoken over it deepens its associations.
Every successful operation becomes part of its history.
Every offering, fumigation, anointing, and act of attention strengthens the path between the object, the practitioner, and the force to which it has been dedicated.
This accumulation is one reason old ritual instruments may feel markedly different from newly prepared ones.
A new instrument may be immaculate, but inexperienced.
An old instrument has been present.
It has stood in the circle when the atmosphere changed.
It has been held during invocation or evocation.
It has touched the smoke of 100 offerings.
It has been present during success, failure, danger, revelation, fear, ecstasy, exhaustion, and command.
It has become saturated with the language of the practitioner's art.
Over time, the instrument no longer needs to be laboriously introduced to the same current.
It recognizes the road because the road has been walked repeatedly.
The practitioner may find that merely taking up the object begins to shift consciousness.
The body changes.
The breathing changes.
The ritual mind awakens.
The atmosphere of the working space gathers around an established pattern.
This does not make the object a toy to be displayed proudly before the curious.
It makes it a vessel of accumulated intimacy.
And such objects should be guarded.
Consecration also binds the instrument to the practitioner.
A ritual tool is most effective when it is not experienced as something foreign being awkwardly manipulated by the hand.
It should become an extension of the operator's will, authority, perception, or subtle body.
The wand becomes directed will made visible.
The cup becomes the capacity to receive and contain.
The blade becomes discernment, division, severity, and command.
The pentacle becomes embodiment, stability, manifestation, and the established field of the work.
The lamp becomes awakened consciousness.
The robe becomes the assumed body of the practitioner.
The ring becomes covenant, office, permission, or allegiance.
The book becomes external memory and the enduring body of the practice.
This relationship is not achieved simply by ownership.
Purchase creates possession in a legal or commercial sense. It does not create a cult kinship.
Consecration begins that kinship.
Continued use deepens it.
For this reason, the most valuable ritual instrument is not always the most expensive or impressive.
A plain implement that has been correctly prepared, faithfully maintained, and used through the years of serious work may possess greater ritual authority than an ornate object purchased at great cost and treated as an aesthetic accessory.
The spirits are not dazzled by retail prices.
Power does not kneel before ornament.
The principle of vivifying sacred matter is far older than the medieval grimoires.
In ancient Egypt, sacred and magical objects ranged from small protective amulets to monumental divine statues.
Egyptian Heka existed within a world in which magical power operated through objects, images, words, and ritual actions. Through temple rites, purification, offerings, clothing, anointing, incense, sacred speech, and ceremonies of animation, an image could be established as a locus through which divine presence became accessible.
The underlying concept is immediately recognizable to the occult practitioner. The fashioned image is not automatically the indwelling presence.
It must be prepared for habitation and admitted into sacred function.
The statue must be made capable of seeing, hearing, breathing, receiving, and acting within the ritual world.
Similarly, amulets were not simply decorative jewelry.
Their materials, shapes, inscriptions, placements, and ritual use contributed to their protective or transformative function.
A carved form could embody a divine power, a protective faculty, a bodily restoration, or a desired condition.
The object became a compact arrangement of image, substance, language, and intent.
Here again, form alone was not the whole mystery.
The symbol had to be brought into operation.
The body of texts, commonly called the Greek Magical Papyri, preserves ritual material from Greco-Roman Egypt, including spells, hymns, invocations, evocations, amulets, images, stones, and procedures for preparing objects used in private ritual practice.
The surviving material spans several centuries and reflects a mingling of Greek, Egyptian, Jewish, and other religious magical currents.
Within this world, statues and stones could be ritually prepared as powerful presences rather than treated as inert representations.
Procedures existed in which images were fashioned and subjected to extended rites of consecration, including offerings and spoken formula.
Some texts reflect the idea that particular stones already possessed an indwelling vitality, while ritual procedures sought to awaken, direct, or establish their power within a specific operation.
This provides an important distinction.
Consecration does not always create power from nothing.
Sometimes it reveals what is already present.
A stone, root, bone, metal, plant, or relic may possess its own inherent virtues.
The rite of consecration identifies those virtues, brings them into alignment, establishes a relationship with them, and directs them towards a particular purpose.
The practitioner does not command dead matter alone.
The practitioner negotiates with the hidden character of things.
Few bodies of Western ritual literature demonstrate the importance of consecration as insistently as the Solomonic grimoires.
In the Key of Solomon, nearly every component of the operation is subjected to preparation.
Knives, swords, sickles, daggers, lances, wands, staves, pens, ink, parchment, wax, earth, needles, cloth, incense, water, and pentacles are all treated according to their ritual functions.
The instruments are not assembled casually on the evening of the operation.
They are acquired or constructed according to instructions, marked with prescribed characters, perfumed, sprinkled, prayed over, and preserved from ordinary contact.
Consecrated instruments are to be wrapped and stored in specially prepared silk, rather than left exposed among common belongings.
Pentacles are made with prepared instruments and colors, then consecrated, veiled, and fumigated.
They are worn not merely as symbols of belief, but as ritual protections and signs of authority within the operation.
The circle itself may be traced with a consecrated instrument, demonstrating that even the boundary of the ritual space is established through a tool already admitted into sacred office.
The Solomonic practitioner does not approach the operation carrying a collection of neutral props.
He enters surrounded by an ordered kingdom.
Every instrument has been separated, named, purified, inscribed, and subordinated to the authority under which the ritual is performed.
The entire apparatus agrees with the operation.
This agreement is part of the power.
Agrippa's writing adds another essential consideration. Consecration is not performed by words and materials alone.
The condition of the consecrator matters.
The virtue of the prayer matters, but so too does the virtue of the person speaking it.
A distracted, insincere, unprepared practitioner may repeat a consecration perfectly and yet produce little.
The words are present, but the authority behind them is weak.
The body performs the gesture, but the spirit does not rise with it.
Consecration demands presence.
The practitioner should know what is being called, why it is being called, and what authority is being called, and what change is expected to occur within the object.
The prayer should not be mumbled like a legal disclaimer.
The name should not be spoken as meaningless noises.
The gestures should not be hurried through while the mind wanders elsewhere.
The consecrator must stand within the rite.
This is especially important when the object is intended to house, anchor, or mediate a spiritual intelligence.
One should not invite a presence into the vessel while inwardly absent from the ceremony.
The object receives the pattern of the operation, and the practitioner is part of that pattern.
A confused consecrator may establish a confused instrument.
Among the most neglected consecrated implements is the magical record itself.
A grimoire, book of shadows, spirit ledger, ritual journal, or personal book of the art is often treated as a notebook containing useful information.
Yet, historically, magical books could themselves be prepared and consecrated as ritual objects.
The Key of Solomon includes a distinct concern for the making and consecration of the magical book.
This is logical.
The book contains names, seals, covenants, prayers, records of manifestation, ritual structures, failures, discoveries, dreams, and instructions.
Over time, it becomes one of the most complete material bodies of the practitioner's occult life.
A properly maintained magical book does not merely describe the practice.
It houses its continuity.
It may be fumigated, anointed, marked with protective seals, introduced to the spirits with whom the practitioner works, and forbidden from the hands of the uninitiated.
Certain sections may be written only during particular planetary hours or ritual states.
Spirit signatures may be entered.
Oaths may be recorded.
Drops of consecrated ink, oil, water, wine, or blood may establish the book's bond to the practitioner and the powers named within it.
Such a book becomes more than a source of reference.
It becomes a witness.
Later Western ceremonial traditions, particularly those associated with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, continued the practice of preparing and consecrating specialized ritual implements.
The elemental weapons, the pentacle, dagger, cup, and wand, were not simply chosen because they looked suitably occult.
Each expressed an elemental principle and was constructed or decorated according to an established symbolic system.
Golden Dawn ritual material also includes repeated acts of consecration through water, incense, divine names, elemental symbolism, and formal declaration.
The practitioner was expected to do more than memorize intellectual correspondences.
The correspondences were made tangible.
Earth was given a body.
Air was given an edge.
Water was given a vessel.
Fire was given a rod of directed force.
Through construction and consecration, the practitioner externalized the elements as ritual instruments and then learned to relate to them as aspects of both the cosmos and the self.
The object became a bridge between doctrine and experience.
Sacred oil has long served as one of the most direct means of consecrating an object.
To anoint is to mark through touch.
Oil clings.
It penetrates.
It leaves a visible or invisible trace.
It joins the hand, the substance, the spoken formula, and the object in a single act.
In later ceremonial magical writing, consecrated oil is described as sanctifying what it touches and as embodying the aspiration of the practitioner.
The composition of such oil may itself reflect the nature of the intended work.
The base, herbs, resins, perfumes, planetary virtues, divine associations, and method of preparation may all contribute to its character.
When applied to a ritual object, the oil may serve several functions at once.
It may cleanse.
It may seal.
It may feed.
It may claim.
It may establish sympathy.
It may signify the descent of spirit into matter.
Anointing should therefore not be reduced to rubbing scented oil upon an object while making a wish.
The substance is the carrier.
The touch is a transmission.
The words give the transformation form.
When an object is intended to serve as a vessel, seat, house, anchor, or bodily link for a spirit, consecration becomes even more significant.
The vessel must first be distinguished from an ordinary representation.
A statue of a spirit is not necessarily the spirit's vessel.
A seal printed upon paper is not automatically a living point of contact.
A box containing herbs and curios is not automatically inhabited.
A ring engraved with a name does not, by engraving alone, establish covenant.
The vessel must be prepared to receive.
This may include cleansing, fumigation, feeding, anointing, inscription, the placement of sympathetic substances, formal invitation, pact, ensoulment, breath, prayer, sacrifice, or a period during which the vessel remains upon the altar and is repeatedly exposed to the Spirit's presence.
The Spirit may be asked to recognize the object as its seat within the practitioner's temple.
Conditions may be stated.
Permissions may be defined.
Offerings may be given.
The vessel may be sealed against intrusion by other forces.
This last matter is vital.
An empty house may attract occupants.
An object deliberately open to spiritual influence, but never properly assigned, warded or sealed, may become unstable.
The practitioner who indiscriminately charges objects without defining what may enter them is not necessarily creating sacred vessels.
They may simply be creating vacancies.
Consecration establishes lawful occupancy.
It names the intended presence and denies the object to what does not belong.
Consecration is not always a single event completed forever.
Some objects require maintenance.
They may need to be cleaned, fumigated, anointed, fed, prayed over, exposed to moonlight or sunlight, placed upon the altar during particular rites, or periodically rededicated.
A spirit vessel may require offerings according to agreement.
A protective talisman may need to be cleansed after enduring sustained hostility.
A divinatory tool may become clouded through careless handling or repeated use amid emotional disorder.
Maintenance does not mean the original consecration failed.
A fire that requires fuel is not an unsuccessful fire.
The object participates in an ongoing relationship.
Attention keeps that relationship articulate.
Neglect, mundane misuse, disrespectful handling, exposure to hostile conditions, or prolonged disuse may weaken the object's ritual coherence.
In some cases, the object can be restored through cleansing and reconsecration.
In others, its work may be complete and it should be ritually decommissioned.
A consecrated object should never simply be thrown away without consideration.
That which has been called into office should be released from office.
The names may be removed.
The indwelling force may be thanked and dismissed.
The accumulated charge may be grounded, burned, buried, dispersed, or returned according to the nature of the object and the tradition of the practitioner.
Just as consecration opens the office, deconsecration closes it.
A failed or weak consecration does not always produce dramatic disaster.
More often, it produces inconsistency.
The object feels lifeless.
It performs no differently from an ordinary item.
Its symbolism does not awaken the intended state.
Its presence introduces distraction rather than focus.
The practitioner continually feels the need to recharge it because no stable current was established.
The tool acquires conflicting uses.
The vessel attracts unrelated impressions.
The practitioner doubts the object, and the object becomes associated with the doubt.
These failures usually arise from one of several causes.
The object was not purified.
Its office was never clearly stated.
Incompatible correspondences were combined without understanding.
The practitioner lacked focus.
The rite was copied without comprehension.
No authority was established.
The object was immediately returned to mundane use.
Or the practitioner expected a single hurried ceremony to replace an ongoing relationship.
Consecration cannot be rescued by theatrical intensity alone.
Loud speech is not authority.
Elaborate robes are not presence.
Rare ingredients are not understanding.
The rite must possess coherence.
The formalities surrounding consecration are sometimes mocked as superstition.
Why use a particular incense?
Why wait for a planetary hour?
Why wash the object?
Why speak names?
Why face a direction?
Why repeat a prayer?
Why wrap the instrument and keep it apart?
Because each act narrows possibility.
The ordinary object could have been anything and used for anything.
Consecration progressively closes those doors until the object stands within a single, intensified identity.
It is washed of what it was.
It is removed from common use.
It is introduced to the powers.
It is marked with their signs.
It is exposed to their substances.
It is named before them.
It is given its law.
It is sealed into its office.
What appears from the outside to be repetition is, from within the rite, compression.
A broad and undefined field is compressed into a precise instrument.
The object becomes less ordinary because it has become more specific.
At the highest level, consecration teaches a practitioner how to encounter matter.
The mundane worldview sees objects as dead things defined by commercial value and practical function.
The occult worldview sees matter as layered with origin, sympathy, memory, spirit, potential, and relationship.
To consecrate an object is to reject the idea that matter is mute.
It is to recognize that the physical may carry the spiritual without ceasing to be physical.
The blade remains metal, yet it becomes the blade of severance.
The cup remains a vessel, yet it becomes a womb of reception.
The stone remains stone, yet it becomes the heart of a talisman.
The statue remains wood, clay, bone, or metal, yet it becomes a face through which the unseen may look back.
The book remains paper and ink, yet it becomes the enduring body of the practitioner's work.
This is not escapism from the material world.
It is the deepening of it.
The practitioner does not flee matter in search of spirit.
The practitioner prepares matter so that spirit may become present through it.
An unconsecrated object is available.
A consecrated object is committed.
That is the distinction.
It has passed from possibility into purpose.
It no longer waits to be told what it might become.
Its office has been established.
Its allegiance has been declared.
Its relationship to the practitioner and the unseen world has been opened.
This is why consecration matters.
It prevents the temple from becoming a collection of props.
It prevents talismans from becoming decorated metal.
It prevents spirit vessels from becoming hollow idols.
It prevents ritual tools from remaining strangers in the hand.
It ensures that when the practitioner enters the chamber and reaches into the darkness for the instrument required, what answers is not merely wood, iron, bone, ink, wax, or stone.
What answers is a thing that was awakened.
The thing that was named.
The thing that remembers the smoke, the words, the offering, the oath, and the hand that first raised it from common matter.
The consecrated instrument is not powerful because it looks ancient.
It is powerful because it has been made to know what it is.
And once matter has been given a name, a law, a spirit, and an appointed purpose, it is no longer just an object.
It has entered the art.
We will now conclude this episode with a simple but effective method of consecration.
This method is universal in the sense that it may be adapted to a blade, wand, cup, ring, talisman, charm, statue, book, divinatory tool, ritual garment, spirit vessel, or almost any other object intended for magical work.
However, the practitioner should always consider the material from which the object is made.
Do not immerse paper, untreated wood, electrical items, delicate metals, porous stones, or other vulnerable materials in water or oil.
Where physical contact may damage an object, hold the water, salt, incense, or flame near it rather than applying the substance directly.
You will need the object to be consecrated.
A small bowl of clean water.
A small bowl of salt.
A candle.
Suitable incense.
And, if desired, a small amount of consecrated or purpose-appropriate anointing oil.
Place the object before you upon a clean cloth or upon the altar.
The color of the candle, type of incense, and composition of the oil may be chosen according to the intended purpose of the object.
However, a plain white candle and frank incense may be used where no specialized correspondences are required.
Stand before the object and place both hands above it.
Do not touch it immediately.
First, recognize it in its present condition, an object that has come from the ordinary world and is now being brought before the threshold of the art.
Say the following. Before this hour, you belong to common use and ordinary circumstance. You carried the touch of those who fashioned you, handled you, stored you, and brought you to this place. I now remove you from the common world. You shall no longer remain without name, purpose, or allegiance. You are brought here before the powers of the art to be purified, appointed, awakened, and made ready.
Pause and regard the object in silence.
This statement marks the beginning of separation.
Next, you will dip your fingers into the clean water.
Lightly sprinkle the object or make the gesture of sprinkling above it if water would cause damage.
Then say the following. By the virtue of water, I wash from you every foreign impression, every stagnant memory, every wandering influence, and every attachment that does not serve the work for which you are prepared. Let all that is contrary be loosened. Let all that is confused be made clear. Let all that is unclean be carried away.
Visualize old impressions flowing out of the object like darkened water.
Next, take a small pinch of salt.
Touch it lightly to the object if the material permits, or circle the salt around the object without making contact.
Say the following. By the virtue of earth, I establish purity, stability, boundary, and form within you. Let no foreign influence take root within you. Let no confusion remain within your substance. Be made firm, be made whole, be made a foundation fit to receive the power appointed to you.
Visualize the object becoming still, dense, and stable.
Light the incense and pass the object through the smoke.
If the object is large or fixed in place, carry the incense around it.
Then say the following: By the virtue of air, I clear from you every wandering thought, every false name, every voice that does not belong, and every pattern contrary to your true office. Let the breath of the unseen pass through you. Let your nature be made lucid. Let your purpose be carried upon the breath of my word.
Allow the smoke to surround the object.
Visualize the smoke entering every hidden space and carrying away all remaining obstruction.
Hold the object near the candle flame, but not so close that it is burned, melted, blackened, or damaged.
Then say the following: By the virtue of fire, I burn from you all weakness, corruption, contradiction, and resistance. Let what is false be consumed. Let what is dormant be stirred. Let the fire of the art enter you, awaken you, and prepare you to receive the office now given.
Visualize the flame illuminating the object from within.
And see it becoming bright, alert, and receptive.
Place both hands around the object.
Now state exactly what the object is to become.
Do not be vague.
A blade should be named according to its function.
A ring should be named according to the bond it carries.
A talisman should be named according to the power it draws, preserves, repels, or commands.
Say the following: You are no longer an object without office. I name you as my. Here you name the type of instrument you are appointed to, and here you state the exact function. You shall assist me in, and state the purpose clearly. You shall answer to this office and to no contrary purpose. You shall carry the force placed within you faithfully, clearly, and without confusion.
For example, I name you as the blade of severance. You are appointed to cut harmful bonds, divide hostile influence, establish boundaries, and defend the integrity of my ritual space.
Or, I name you as the cup of communion. You are appointed to receive offerings, hold consecrated waters, and serve as a vessel of union between the visible and invisible worlds.
Or, I name you as the talisman of protection. You are appointed to repel hostility, preserve the bearer from harmful influence, strengthen the boundaries of body and spirit, and return all unwelcome force to the emptiness from which it came.
Lift the object towards your mouth.
Take a deep breath.
Then breathe slowly upon it 3 times.
With the first breath, say, receive the breath of awakening.
With the second breath, say, receive the breath of purpose.
With the third breath, say, receive the breath of enduring life within your appointed office.
As you breathe, visualize your authority, intent, and spiritual force entering the object.
Do not strain or attempt to force dramatic sensation.
The act should be deliberate, steady, and present.
If you are using consecrated oil, place a very small amount upon your fingertip.
Anoint the object in a suitable place.
A simple cross, circle, pentagram, personal sigil, or 3-point pattern may be used according to your own tradition.
Say the following: As this oil touches and enters your substance, so does the force of your office enter and remain within you. You are marked, you are claimed, you are sealed to the work for which you have been prepared.
If oil would damage the object, anoint the air above it or anoint the cloth upon which it rests.
Hold the object between the hands or place both palms above it.
Focus upon the exact purpose you have assigned to it.
Imagine the object performing that purpose.
See the blade cutting.
See the cup receiving.
See the mirror opening.
See the talisman protecting.
See the ring binding the agreed relationship.
See the book retaining and guarding the words written within it.
When that image is clear, say the following: By my will, by my word, and by the powers before whom this act is witnessed, I charge you with the fulfillment of your appointed office. Let your substance remember, let your form obey, let your power awaken whenever you are called into service. Remain faithful to your name, remain faithful to your purpose, remain faithful to the hand that has consecrated you.
Pass the object once more through the incense smoke.
Then hold it above the candle, again maintaining a safe distance.
Say the following: What has been cleansed shall remain clean. What has been named shall remember its name. What has been appointed shall remain within its office. What has been awakened shall answer when called. I seal this consecration in water, earth, air, and fire. I seal it by will, word, breath, and deed. Let no foreign power corrupt it. Let no contrary purpose divide it. Let no unbidden presence inhabit it. This work is established. This instrument has entered the art.
Strike your altar, ring a bell, clap your hands once, or speak a final word of sealing according to your tradition.
A simple word such as established, so it is, or it is done may be used.
Do not immediately return the object to ordinary surroundings.
Leave it upon the altar for at least one night if possible.
It may be placed beside the candle, incense, a suitable offering, or symbols associated with its purpose.
During this period, allow the consecration to settle.
The object should not be handled unnecessarily or shown to others.
Once the resting period is complete, wrap it in clean cloth, place it within a dedicated box, or store it in its appointed place.
The first ritual use of the object should reinforce the office established during consecration.
Do not consecrate a blade for severance and then use it first in the rite of attraction.
Do not consecrate a cup for communion and then use it as an ordinary drinking vessel.
Do not consecrate a talisman for protection and then leave it forgotten in a drawer.
Bring the object into active service.
Through use, the consecration becomes history.
And through repetition, history becomes identity.
Through identity, the instrument becomes established.
This presented method is intentionally simple.
It does not require rare materials, elaborate astrological elections, expensive tools, or inaccessible knowledge.
Yet within it are the essential movements found throughout many systems of consecration.
Separation,
Purification,
naming,
appointment,
vivification,
charging,
sealing.
and preservation.
The method may be expanded according to the practitioner's tradition.
Divine names may be invoked.
Planetary forces may be called.
Spirits may be petitioned.
Specific psalms, hymns, barbarous names, sacred texts, sigils, offerings, or correspondences may be added.
But the foundation remains the same.
The object is taken from the ordinary world.
It is emptied of contradiction.
It is told what it is.
It is given a purpose.
It is awakened to that purpose.
And it is sealed so that it may remember.
For the practitioner does not merely collect objects.
The practitioner establishes instruments.
The practitioner creates relationships.
The practitioner gives matter a law.
And when that law is spoken with knowledge, authority, presence, and purpose, the object ceases to wait in silence.
It begins to answer.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Indeed. Find us on any platforms that you can find podcasts on. Spreaker, Deezer, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else really, because honestly we're not going to remember all of the platforms. And always remember, as above, so below.
As within, so without.